Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to use Zoom on our IdeaHub. Firstly, click the menu and go to Windows operating system. Then, open Zoom Room. You can see that there's only 3 buttons here. That's because that you need to sign in order to use all full functions. Here, we need to sign in first. Now that we have signed in, the first time you sign in, you have to create a new room in order to use Zoom Room. Let me demonstrate how to do that. First, you have to choose a name type. Let's say test. And then it will ask you to add a calendar. In order for you to use the function to arrange a meeting in advance or use calendar during Zoom Room, you have to add a calendar. You have the option of adding Google or Microsoft Outlook. After you have setting up the calendar, click the Zoom Room. And now you can use the full function of Zoom Room. Let me introduce you the whiteboard first. Click here to start whiteboard. Now it has finished loading. Let me introduce you the menu here. The menu is down here, as you can see. There's close button. After clicking this, you can exit the whiteboard. This moon-shaped button allows you to switch between the whiteboard and blackboard. If you have drawn something and you would like to save, you can click here to save it. You can enter an email address and your work will be sent to your email. You can click here to add a new page of the whiteboard. If you would like to go back to a certain page, you can click the button next to it and go back. There are 5 colors for you to choose. There's black, red, yellow, green, and blue. If you want to erase something, click the eraser. And you can erase your mistakes. And if you have made an accident move of drawing or erasing something, you can click here to make it go back. If you have drawn too much stuff on the whiteboard, you can empty everything by a simple click of the button. You can start a new share by clicking here to start screen projection immediately, or you can start a meeting by clicking here. Now, let's go back to the main page. Now let me introduce you the shared content function. As you can see, there are 2 tabs here. First is the desktop. There are 2 options. You can either use Zoom app to share with the sharing key, or use browser to share. Or if you have iPhone or iPad, you can connect to the same Wi-Fi and tap the screen mirroring, choose the meeting, and then enter the passcode, and you can begin to share. Take in mind that before sharing, you have to enable this function for the participant to share the content. Let's demonstrate first. Let me demonstrate you with a laptop. After you have signed in the Zoom app, click the Share Screen button and wait for the instruction to key in the sharing key. Take note that you have to enable multiple participants can share simultaneously button in order for anyone to share. In addition, as you can see on my screen, it says this step is required for users on different network for additional security measures. It means that you have to key in the second sharing key another time. In order for you to share. As you can see my desktop on the IdeaHub. You can draw on it just like a whiteboard. It works the same as the normal whiteboard. And you can annotate on it on the laptop as well. Simply clicking Annotate and then you have the option to draw on it and key in texts, spotlight, eraser, and more. If you would like to clear all your annotation, simply click Clear All Drawings, and it's cleared. Also, if you have iPhone or iPad, you can share with screen mirroring. Let me demonstrate you how. Firstly, swipe down, and you can see the screen mirroring button over here. Click it, and you can see Test, which is the name of our Zoom room. And it will ask you to enter the code on the screen, which is this one, 4440. And now you can see that our iPad is projected onto the screen. Take note that this iPad and the IdeaHub has to be on the same Wi-Fi. Let's wait no more and show you the meeting. Click here to start the meeting immediately. Wait for a few seconds for it to load up. And there it is. You can see there's a top and bottom menu. At the top, there's the sharing key, which you can use for screen sharing and projection. Here is the name of the meeting room. And at the left-hand bottom corner, there's the whiteboard. This is the meeting ID. And this is the button to mute yourself or unmute yourself. And if you want more functions, click here. And you can see the meeting ID over here again. There's a mute microphone, stop video, share content on or camera, and security, change view, switch camera, camera control, manage participants, start recording, and setting. Let me introduce you how other people can join your meeting. First, of course, you can join by laptop, simply keying the meeting ID and passcode. They can also join by phone by dialing the correct number. If you are in a different country, simply by clicking here and change to a country. For example, if you are in South Africa, choose South Africa, and the number will change accordingly. Now, you can also invite people by clicking Manage Participants, Invite, and you can either invite by contact or email. If you want to invite by email, simply click here and key in your email address. Take note that the function of inviting by contact is still not available on Zoom Room. Now, let's invite our colleague by giving them the meeting ID and passcode, and wait for a few seconds for them to join. Now that all our friends has keyed in the meeting ID and the password, we can see them in the meeting room. Of course, if you would like to disable the meeting room, you can do the same in the setting. Now, let's admit them.
Oh, I'm here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, I can hear you.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so during the meeting, we can open the whiteboard and all of us can work on it simultaneously. For example, I can write Huawei, and let's give them a math problem. This is 1 plus 3 equals you see, They can answer them perfectly. Okay, let's introduce you some more functions of IdeaHub. You can click the security and open the security setting. There's lock meeting, enable meeting waiting room, or you can disable it waiting room here. Of course, as I have said, you can do the same in your own account setting in zoom.com. You can allow participants to share their screen, chat, rename themselves, mute themselves, or you can remove participants over here or report them. Now, let's close the whiteboard without saving. And you can change the view here, change the layout. You can click here to show this, whoever is speaking to be the center of the screen. You can click the thumbnail and the layout will change to this way. You can also enter the gallery mode and the layout will be changed to this. You can use camera control to do the mirror effect. In addition, you can manage participants by clicking here. This is me, and this is my colleague. You can mute them, stop their video, pin the video, spotlight their video, meaning that their video will become the main video on every screen. You can make them a host, rename them, put them back into the meeting room, or remove them. Let's all put them back into the meeting room. And after you have put them back in the waiting room, you can either admit them or remove them. In addition, there's mute all or unmute all function over here. You can click all, click more to see more settings. You can lock the meeting over here as well. In addition, you can record yourself during the meeting. Simply keying your email and then you can start recording. You can click this setting to change your microphone, speaker, or camera. You can see the microphone. As I'm speaking, it will show your volume over here. You can unmute microphone to test and test microphone. Hello? And stop test. During the test, you can hear yourself. After stop the test, you will not be able to hear yourself. And more advanced, and you can change the source of the microphone. Of course, right now there's only one source of the microphone. In the advanced menu, you can select to enable advanced software audio for processing or advanced noise suppression. You can change the degree from moderate to aggressive. Now for the speaker setting. You can test the speaker here, just like the microphone, and change the source of the speaker. As we are using the operating system, the system identifies several speakers. Of course, if you would like to add a more speaker for yourself, there will be more options shown down below. Same as this speaker, if you have more than one camera, such as your own camera, it will show down here. And this is troubleshooting log. Over here is the lock. You can tap the lock and key in whatever password you have set. The default password is 50. 5 zeros means 00000. And click continue. And now the meeting is unlocked. Now, let's invite our friends to demonstrate the screen sharing.
Hi again.
Hey Carrick, can you demonstrate the
Yeah.
screen sharing function of Zoom?
Of course. Wait a minute. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see. As you can see, my colleague is sharing his laptop. And just like we have demonstrated screen sharing before, we can make annotations on it, just like on the whiteboard. Hi.
Yes.
And I have to mention that Zoom has a built-in remote control function. However, that is not achievable on Zoom Room, meaning that I cannot control Cleric's laptop. However, my colleagues could control his laptop during the meeting, as long as Cleric shared his authority. Hi there. Now I'm going to demonstrate you how IdeaHub's hardware works on third-party platforms, in this case, Zoom. The first powerful function we are going to demonstrate is the sound distance pickup function. It means that IdeaHub can hear you clearly even you are at a far distance from the screen.
So today we have invited one of our colleagues, Cleric, to assist us in the testing. Now I'm going to move back and see if he can hear me clearly. So now I'm 3 meters from IdeaHub. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, let's try further back. This is around 5 meters from IdeaHub. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Now let's move all the way back to the room. This is roughly 8 meters from IdeaHub. Can you still hear me clearly?
Yes, I can always hear you clearly, but when you're at the end of the room, your voice becomes a little softer.
And that is distance sound pickup. Now I'm going to introduce you the voice tracking function. To use voice tracking function, you have to exit room by clicking the home button. Click setting, camera, and then make sure the voice tracking is turned on and select the voice track. And now we can go back to Zoom meeting. And now the voice tracking is turned on. Let's invite some of our colleagues to join us for the testing. Okay, as you can see, as I'm speaking, the camera is now focusing on me to be the center of the screen.
Hello, IdeaHub is a brand new product we released for smart office.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, and now the voice tracking should shift back to me as I'm speaking. And now let's introduce the auto frame. Similar to voice tracking, you have to set it in the setting. Go to setting, camera, and shift to auto frame. And now let's go back to Zoom meeting. In this case, we'll still introduce some of our colleagues to join us for the testing. As you can see, when there's only one person in the camera, in the camera, the camera will focus on that single person. Let me introduce one more of our colleague here. And as the camera detects there are 2 people in the conference room, the frame will automatically adjust to that. Let's introduce one more of our colleague. And the camera will adjust based on 3 people. And that's it for auto framing. And now let's introduce the acoustic baffling. Similar to voice tracking and auto framing, you have to go to the setting, advanced, swipe down, and you will see acoustic baffle. Turn it on, and you will see there's a small and big option. For small option, only around the center of the screen will your voice to be heard. For the big option, as long as you are on the screen, your voice will be heard. However, if you're outside the screen, your voice won't be heard. Let's try small. Okay, now we are back to Zoom. Let's try the effect of acoustic baffling. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
And let me step a little further. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear
Yes.
me? And let's
No, any stop.
let's try on the right. Can you hear me right now?
Yes. No.
No? Okay. And that's acoustic baffling for you. To filter out all the unnecessary noise during your conference. In order to use the full meeting control of Zoom Room, you need to have a tablet to have the Zoom Room Control app installed. In this case, we will use iPad to demonstrate. Click open the Zoom Room, and you will see it will ask you to enter the pairing code. There are two ways to pair the Zoom Room Control with the Zoom Room. The first is to click the sign in. After you have signed in, it will ask you to select a room. In this case, it's our test. Wait for it to respond, and you will see that you have two options. First is the room controller for conference control. Second is the scheduling display for meeting arrangement. Let's see the room control first. After you have selected the room control, you can see that you can start a meeting by clicking Meeting Now. If you have arranged meeting, you will be able to see that in the meeting list. In addition, you can join the meeting by keying the meeting ID over here. You can also start a screen projection straight from the Zoom Room control by simply clicking whether you want to project your laptop or iPhone or iPad. You can see after I have clicked on the screen sharing, the Zoom Room also responded with displaying the sharing information. Of course, you can click Stop Sharing over here to go back to the main page. You can also start a phone call from the Zoom Room controller. Let's create a meeting immediately. We can set the length of the meeting over here. Let's create a 30-minute meeting right away. As you can see, as I'm starting a meeting on the Zoom Room control, the camera has already opened. And there it is, our meeting. You can mute, you can stop your video, share content. Here, as I have done previously, change the view, control the camera, participants, start recording. You can also manage the chat on the Zoom Room controller. You can also change the volume of the meeting right away over here. Very convenient. Also the setting, microphone, speaker, camera, and lock meeting setting over here on the right hand corner. You can also see the meeting ID on top, as well as the dial information, the passcode, and participant ID. Let's leave and have a look at the scheduling display. After I switch to a scheduling display, you will be able to see the upcoming meeting over here at the center. If you would like to reserve a meeting, simply click here. And then you can choose your length by dragging these two tabs. You can key in the meeting name and select whether the participants need a passcode, you can enable it or disable it. And you can also change the passcode over here. And just simply click reserve and you're done. And that is all for the Zoom Room controller function. Thank you very much.